Assalamu alaikum dear students. Now today we are going to discuss new unit which is straight lines in a plan. You, in earlier classes you studied about the points in a plan, that is coordinate geometry. Since you know that any point in plan is of the form of xy, this means that coordinates or the point in this plan is of the form of xy. Usually the coordinate plan, we have two axes in coordinate plan. One is the x-axis, this, and this is y-axis, means perpendicular line which passes through x-axis through 0. These two axes divides this plan into four equal parts which are called as quadrants. In first quadrant, here this is first quadrant, means quadrant first. In this both x as well as y are positive. In second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. In third quadrant, both are negative. And in fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. Now if we have any 2 points in this plan, say p of xy, means x1 y1, means coordinates of first point are x1 y1, and coordinates of second point, which is q, are x2 y2. You know that the distance formula, that is distance between these 2 points, is pq equals to square root of difference of this x coordinates, square of difference of x coordinates plus difference of y coordinates, that is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square units. This is the distance between any 2 points whose coordinates are x1 y1 and x2 y2 in plan. Now if we have 3 points, say x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3. Now if these 3 points forms triangle, then such triangle has area, and that area equals to 1/2 of 2 x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2, but the positive quantity of this, that is modulus of this very expression. So this is the area between any 3 points in plan. Now if this area is 0, which implies that these 3 points lies on a straight line, because area of a point is 0. Line is combination of points in one direction, so this means that when we sum up the area, it is again 0. Or simply we can say line has area of line equals to 0 because it is one dimensional. So this means that when this area is 0, these 3 points lies on same line. When they lies on same line, they are called as the collinear points. So simply we can say that collinear points are those points which lies on the same line. Now any 2 points in plan are always collinear, while as 3 points may or may not be collinear. It depends upon this condition, that if this area is 0, then they are collinear. If this area is non-zero, this means that they are non-collinear. This means, or we can simply say that they forms a triangle. Now here we are going to discuss the straight lines, and we are going to use these concepts to define or to discuss the straight lines. Firstly we will discuss the slope of the line. Then in the next half of this unit we will discuss the forms of straight lines. Now firstly define the slope of the line. Any line in the plan forms two angles with the x-axis. That is, if we have this angle, this line, and this is the plan, now it forms two angles with the x-axis. That suppose one is theta, which it makes with the positive direction of x-axis, and second one is 180 minus theta because it is straight angle, and we divide this straight angle into two parts, one theta, second one is 180 minus theta. This angle here, these two angles are called as the supplementary angle. Supplementary angle is that angle whose sum is 180 degree. If we consider this line, angle is theta, which it makes with the positive direction of x-axis. That is, we are measuring this angle in anti-clockwise direction, because anti-clockwise direction while measuring the angle is taken to be positive direction. Here this angle, this theta, is called angle of inclination of the line. angle of inclination of this line. Clearly this theta ranges from 0 to 180, or the range of this theta is 0 to 180, because when we measure this angle in the an anti-clockwise direction, that is in the positive direction, this line, this angle may be in this first quadrant or in second quadrant, or this line lies on this x-axis. This means that theta is here 0 or theta is 180. Now clearly if we have the parallel lines which are parallel to x-axis, or simply we can say that the x-axis, then this angle of inclination is 0 degree. While as if we consider the perpendicular lines, that is this y-axis, suppose this makes an angle 90 degree with the positive direction of x-axis. So this means that for this vertical lines, or for this vertical line or other vertical lines, this angle of inclination is 90 degree. Now if theta is the angle of inclination of any in this line, then tan of theta is simply called as the slope of this line and is denoted by m. Now for x-axis, or for the horizontal lines, this theta is always 0 degree. This theta is 0 degree, which implies that tan of 0 is simply 0. So for these lines, for horizontal lines, the slope is always 0. While as if we have the vertical lines, for vertical lines, this angle of inclination means theta is 90 degree. So its slope is actually m equals to tan of 90 degree. Tan of 90 is not defined, so this means that if theta is 90, we cannot define the slope for such lines, means we cannot define slope for the vertical lines. So clearly from this we can say that the slope of the vertical lines is not defined, while as the slope of the horizontal line or x-axis is simply 0. Hence slope of x-axis is 0, while as slope of y-axis, because y-axis is the horizontal vertical line, its slope is not defined, that is we cannot define the slope for such lines. Although angle of inclination of this these vertical or this x-axis y-axis is 90 degree. So if we have this, we have to find the slope of the line which makes an angle 45 degree with the positive direction of x-axis. Here line makes an angle of 45 degree with the positive direction of x-axis, means that angle of inclination, that is theta, is 45 degree. You know that the slope is denoted by m and is equals to tan of theta, tan of 45, which implies that tan of 45 is 1. Hence the slope of this line which makes an angle 45 degree with the positive direction of x-axis is 1. That is, if we have this line of this form, this is the plane and this is the line which makes an angle 45 degree with the positive direction of x-axis, it is the 45 here. So this slope of this line, that is this m, is here, because m is slope, it is always 1. And angle of inclination, that is theta is here simply this 45 degree. So in this way you can find the slope, and you can define the slope of any line whose angle of inclination is given. That is, angle of inclination is simply that angle of a line which it makes with the positive direction of x-axis. In positive direction means in anti-clockwise direction. So inshallah in tomorrow's video lecture we will discuss how to find a slope of a line which when it passes through 2 points. So thank you.